Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be showing you how to clean your NInja Foodi Smart XL Grill. Because if you don't, it's eventually going to look like this. And that's just gross. So you ready? Let's get into this. To do this, we only need a few things. First, we need a little bowl like this. We need a non-scratch scrub sponge. I'm using these Scott-Brite ones here. Using something like this is really important because you don't want to scratch the surfaces inside of your machine. And the only other thing we need is a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend. Barkeeper's Friend contains a lot of acids, so I'd recommend you probably want to wear some rubber gloves just to protect your hands. I'm not gonna, but then again, I'm sort of a moron, so it is what it is. What the heck is going on over there? The exterior surfaces are pretty easy to keep clean, but you gotta remember that it's a combination of plastic and plastic with the stainless overlay. The stainless on this isn't durable like it is on a stainless steel pan or anything like that, so if you use anything abrasive, you're gonna scratch this up. So the best way to clean this would be to take your scrub sponge, fill it up with warm to hot water, and also put a little bit of dish detergent into this. And then you can just scrub all around the surfaces here. If you're doing this on a pretty regular basis, it's not really going to be all that dirty anyway. But really, that's all you really got to do on the outside. If you're planning on cleaning the inside of this machine also, this is probably the last step you want to take instead of the first like I'm doing right now. Just because you're going to get the outside a little bit dirty when you're cleaning up underneath the hood anyway. But I already started, so if I have to clean it again a second time, oh well. Once you've let that soap sit on there for a minute or so, you can go ahead and wipe your machine down. I like to use microfiber towels like these. And the reason for that is they absorb a lot of this water without streaking. And they also don't leave any lint or anything behind. So anywhere where you can make things easier on yourself, probably a good idea. And that's really it for the outside. So for the inside, we've got a few components here. I've got my baking pan, my grilling plate, and also the filter up in the top. These two pieces down here are non-stick, so really you can just wash them in your sink with a scrub sponge and they'll come pretty clean. If you don't want to do that, they are dishwasher safe, so you can throw them in there. For the filter, I found that the dishwasher actually works really well on this thing, and it is safe for that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all three of these pieces in there and just not worry about it. Alright, we'll open up our dishwasher. It's a good idea to space these out as much as you can, just to make sure you get a nice, good clean on them. And really, that's about it. And just a regular cycle on this should be perfectly fine. Just keep in mind when it gets done, you probably want to get the filter out of there sooner than later since it is made of stainless steel. That way you don't have to worry about tarnishing or anything like that. Now all we got to worry about is getting all of this stuff clean up here, which tends to really be the part that's the pain in the neck. And that's mostly because it's a weird angle, you can't really remove the lid, and getting around these parts up here can be kind of a pain in the neck as well. But you'll see, it'll turn out pretty good anyway. So we're going to take our bowl, put a whole bunch of Barkeeper's Friend in here. Quite a bit actually. And we're going to add just a tiny bit of water. Next you want to mix this up really good in your bowl. What we're trying to do is create kind of a slurry here. We'd like it still to be pretty thick because we want to keep this pretty powerful. And you'll know it's ready when it comes out looking sort of like beaten eggs or something like that. Then you're going to want to take your slurry and get a whole bunch of it onto the abrasive side of your scrub sponge. And we're just going to go through and just rub that onto all these surfaces here. You're going to make sort of a mess, but that's kind of goes with the territory. And you're going to want to pay really close attention here to the corners. Keep in mind, this is pretty highly concentrated right now, so if you've got sensitive skin, you're definitely going to want to use some gloves for this. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Keep in mind that when you're working around these edges, especially right up around in here, over here where the lever is for your filter, and up around the base of the heating elements and everything else, there's a lot of sharp edges there, so if you're not careful, you can cut yourself. So be extra careful with that. If you're using those rubber gloves we were talking about, that's probably going to go a long ways towards protecting your hands a little bit from that as well. Once you've got this cleaned up, you can wring out your sponge and use that to rinse away as much of this barkeeper's friend as you can. I personally just cleaned up my bowl and filled it about halfway up with clean, warm water. You probably are going to make a little bit of a mess here, so I'd recommend probably putting a towel down underneath your machine or something like that. That's one thing about these Ninja machines, they just never seem to put a whole lot of thought into how you're going to keep them clean, so it's kind of left up to the community on their own to figure out how to do that part. Kind of a shame, but you know, it is what it is, I suppose. You can see it's not perfect, but it is coming pretty clean for us. As you can see, the coil does stay pretty clean, and that's just because of that filter that's included with the machine. Ironically, they use a similar coil for their pressure cookers, but they don't have a filter like that to keep those clean, so these tend to get kind of rough looking. Once your dishwasher finishes, you can pull out your baking pan, your grilling plate, and your filter. And if you look really closely at this, you can really see how good a job the dishwasher all by itself did on this. And putting our machine back together, you can see that everything came out really clean, especially the underside portion of the lid here, which is really the problem area that most people have. All in all, once you know how to get this thing clean, it's really not that big a deal to maintain it. It's just a matter of knowing exactly what you gotta do. If you found this video useful and you also have a Ninja Foodi pressure cooker, you can check out this video right here to see a pretty easy way to keep that thing clean too. So until next time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.